When Honda unleashed the Neowing Concept at the 2015 Tokyo Motor Show, heads turned and imaginations burned. A tricycle-form hybrid leaner with edgy design and sportbike roots, the Neowing was a ride to get your adrenaline flowing in a class that was only beginning to show mainstream potential. Honda, so renowned for its innovation, seemed set to upset the likes of the Yamaha Nikon and even Can-Am Spyder in its own way. Yet almost a decade on, the Neowing remains a concept. There isn't a production bike, no Prezi test rides, and no indication what its development status is. So what went on? Why not Honda, a prosperous marque which enjoys pushing boundaries, pursuing one of its most interesting concepts in years? Here's looking at you. The Neowing, what it was meant to be. Honda Neowing was conceived as a three-wheeled hybrid sport bike that would lean into turns like a motorcycle but provide the stability and traction of a fourth front wheel. In its untamed, sci-fi look-alike guise with double front wheels, low-slung bodywork, and wide, stable stance, the Neowing was clearly an outlaw. Underneath its exterior lay a flat-4 engine, presumably shared with the Gold Wing, and an electric motor to provide hybrid drive. This produced a mix of torquey performance, economy, and reduced emissions. Honda also unveiled a new linkage system for the leaning front suspension, hopefully intended to preserve natural riding characteristics while enhancing safety and control. The Neowing concept seemed targeted at a new generation of rider, one who wanted motorcycle-like excitement with more confidence and technological sophistication. On paper, it was perfect. In life, it never happened. Why Honda didn't push forward? 1. Niche market uncertainty. The leaning three-wheeler market remains a bit niche. The Yamaha Nikon did, naturally, get to production but sold in small numbers at best. It's a smart bike, naturally, but not one that produces huge numbers. The Can-Am Spyder and the Riker range have been better sellers, but they sell more on ease of entry and operation than revolutionary dynamics. Honda is a numbers game company. If the internal estimate suggested meager returns on such an expensive, complex project as the Neowing, it would have been hard to rationalize proceeding. Homologation, development, marketing, and dealer training are expenses. On a bike that was a showroom star but not a volume product, the expense might have outweighed the reward. 2. Complex engineering challenges. Creating a hybrid leaning trike is no easy task. The mechanical complexity of combining a gas engine with electric motors, an innovative leaning suspension system, and rider aid technologies poses Herculean development hurdles. Add to that the demands for reliability, safety, and cost control, Honda's forte, and the job is even more formidable. In a mass-production automobile, all of these must be robust, easy to maintain, and affordable. The Neowing's concept technology may have been too complex, or too expensive, to make in volume without sacrificing too much. 3. Regulatory and licensing issues. Three-wheelers exist in a regulatory twilight world. Depending on the country, they may be put into another license class than regular two-wheelers. This is a blessing or a curse for sales prospects. A few of the markets might certify the Neowing for use on a car license, hence becoming more general. Others will require an official motorcycle license independent of its extra wheel. Such discrepancy becomes the challenge of marketing and distribution. Honda would be required to realign strategy per market, which is challenging and costly. 4. Changing strategic priorities. The priorities have shifted at Honda since the release of Neowing. The company has invested heavily in electric scooters, city mobility, and self-driving vehicle technology. Honda clearly likes setting the trend for zero-emission transportation rather than taking a punt on boutique projects. Honda's also bet big on its motorcycle core line, overhauling its top sellers like the Africa Twin, CBR line, and CB series. Instead of aiming at a fresh and unproven market, Honda is leveraging what it knows works, especially with global economic instability creating higher-risk innovation less appealing. Whatever could have been. Had the Neowing gone into production, it could have revolutionized the experience of a high-performance three-wheeler in its appearance and feel. Leaning on Honda's engineering prowess, augmented by their design DNA, the Neowing could have built a loyal following, especially among older riders wanting extra stability, or drivers curious about motorcycling but not prepared to commit the last. It could have brought more people into motorcycling, expanded the Honda Powersports franchise, and encouraged competition to improve even further. But it lies instead in idea motorcycle limbo, a recollection of what could have been. Conclusion: a bold dream, left behind. The Honda Neowing concept was a visionary idea, one that blended motorcycle agility with high-tech sophistication and next-generation style. Though its non-appearance is to be lamented by enthusiasts, the whys behind Honda's decision are rooted in business realities. It's still possible that we'll see a spiritual successor down the road, especially as electric and hybrid powertrains become more common. But for now, the Neowing remains a dream on display, frozen in time, full of promise, and a glimpse into the road not taken.